Shakur takes on Artem. This fight is going to be a lot closer than I initially thought. We're going to be taking a look at Artem versus Frank and breaking down Yoshino versus Stevenson here. And let's go ahead and take out a look at the vicious knockout that Shakur Stevenson delivered to Yoshino just a little while ago. Getting off the line, boom, beautiful shot right here. Excellent, excellent shot. And take a look, snaps. The referee could hear the sound of this guy's brain sloshing around in his head. It was amazing how he could tell that. Look at this. Look at this. Take a look at the look on Yoshino's face, shaking his head like this. No, 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 no. He doesn't even know where he is right now. Can you believe it, guys? Just such a devastating punch from Shakur Stevenson. No. Now, obviously, I'm joking. Shakur Stevenson's not really a very, very, very hard puncher. He has very, very fast and snappy hands, and this is going to play a huge part in the fight. However, he's not a huge puncher. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the clips we're going to start getting into the fight. First thing we want to talk about controlling space, okay? When Shakur Stevenson is here, he's going to really, what I like to call, put a leash on Yoshino here, and he's going to kind of walk him like a dog. All right, take a look at him being on the line. Every time he gets to the line, he gives him a little bit of control, takes a step off. A little bit of control. He uses that to get his opponent planted, takes a step off. This is the most important skill when you want to be the fighter that's circling your opponent, is your ability to control space in between the steps that you take. Okay, this in contrast, somebody like Teofimo Lopez, who fought some guy that, basically everyone would say that Shakur Stevenson would beat the crap out of and annihilate. And I would agree. I would agree. And I don't really rate Shakur Stevenson that highly. And we're going to see when we talk about it, when we talk about what's going on with the rest of the fight. But this is very likely Shakur Stevenson's number one skill is ring generalship, his ability to circle and drag his opponents around on a leash, okay, and walk them like a dog. Now it gives them opportunity to create space, right? It makes it so that they don't have as many opportunities to attack them, okay, because they have to interact with that lead hand, and if they don't, it can always just be a punch, okay? Now Shakur Stevenson trying to be the boxer here, circling. Now, a very, 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 very important move here, okay? Yoshino starts giving him a little bit of head movement. He's going to cross the line here. And Shakur Stevenson likes to use these types of timings to attack his opponent, okay? Shakur Stevenson, in spite of the fact that he's very fast and snappy and has very, very limited control games that are like in relation to, oh, what's my opponent doing? What did I make them do? He's got a lot of very perfunctory games that he plays. And it just limits the, creative amount of offense. But one of the reasons for this is because he doesn't really have any head movement. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about that later and how important that is. But again, he's got a very good leash. He usually controls a decent amount of space. It's very, very difficult to cut the ring off against him when he's being mindful of it. He usually does a decent job of being able to traverse the ring. Going to kind of zoom quickly through, again, circling through, doing a decent job. Again, it's not easy to sneak up on him. Now, jumping off the line here and kind of landing a fast and snappy stepping jab here on his opponent. Okay. Now, his opponent is kind of winging and throwing these kind of punches. And the first thing I want you guys to kind of pay attention to and note, he's what we would call at Fouts boxing a common fighter, right? His posture is not even that good. He's not that strong. He's like kind of fit guy, but he's not like a super athlete or anything. And of course, Stevenson, when we rate him as an athlete, nobody would argue that he's not a top level athlete. Very, very fast and snappy, very, very strong and in shape, super quick. And Yoshino is just not that guy, right? And this is very, very important because it's really easy to do fake moves against someone who sucks. Okay, we've all sparred with our younger brother, our younger sister, right? Moved around with people who are beginners. Now, pushing them off the line again here. Now, is it that difficult to get Shakur Stevenson in a position where he's pendulum stepping off the line? Again, another one of those things we want to kind of think about and talk about when we analyze what's really going on. So again, good leashing here, and his opponent opens up with the lead rear hand. Now this is super important because with so much control in the lead hand here, when him going like this, and this could go either way. Is he controlling here, and is Shakur going 1-2 and he's countering that one? Either way, Shakur getting his head off the line and being able to move with him and snap just shows kind of how quick he is. And this is kind of very likely be the biggest problem that that Artem has when fighting Shakur. Now, after he lands this very, very great shot, boom, excellent shot. What exactly is it that Shakur Stevenson does? He enters a zone of a little bit of fake defense here. Okay, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to have a little bit of, we have a lot of clips to go over, a lot of stuff to talk about. Good leashing. Now, when he gets that one there, right, he's going to control, jumps on the line. Shakur Stevenson, is he countering? Is he this? Is he looks like he's giving up that body right there. And this is actually one of Artem's, biggest sources of kind of offense. And when we get there, we're going to talk about that. But look at him getting onto the line here, using a little bit of a leaping left hook there to kind of close the distance. And only in that beat were able to land kind of one punch, Now, this is another one of those moves, controlling space, that Artem is very good at, that he's going to be looking to land and throw, because when we take a look at Shakur Stevenson's guard, okay, this guard, it always has a hole here, okay? It's a hole here. It's also a hole here as well when he's controlling space. Okay, so when he's on the back foot and his hand is mostly at home, he's not really having his guard up, and he's very susceptible to this punch. And Stevenson is going to have to rely a lot on his athleticism to kind of make sure that he's not susceptible to these kinds of explosive movements from Artem. The only difference is when we get there, I think Artem is a little bit better of an athlete than Shakur. Now, jumping onto the line, again, surprising him with that shot, jumping onto the line, boom, finding space to land this body shot. And I want to immediately draw you to what Shakur Stevenson's reaction is here. Okay, it's extremely important because is Shakur Stevenson throwing a punch here? No, he's not. What's he doing? He's putting his arm on top of his head to hold his head down. Is that legal? No. Do we like that? Boo. Boo. Wait, guys. Wait. It's not his fault. Okay, he's a world-class fighter. I'm sure there's a very, very good reason for it. Oh, it's because on average he has very, 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 very poor defense and inside fighting skills. Okay, and we're going to talk a lot about that when we take a look at Shakur Stevenson's kind of primary style of defense. Now, again, this guy jumping on the line, controlling the lead hand, and now he's going to control one and jump onto his line, landing a two as Shakur Stevenson is kind of penduluming off the line. Now, this is not a good time to be getting hit by your opponent's right hand, is when your feet are in the air. If you get clocked like this and you're not solid on your feet, you're going to go down whether you're hurt or not. Okay, and it's very, very, very important because it's one of the most common styles of offense, or ways of setting it up. Now, Shakur Stevenson, very fast jumping on the line here, and look at how quick he is. Bop, bop. Now, the only problem with this is he's telegraphing the fact that he's going to throw a two. He's not really getting very good control of his opponent with the first jump on the line, and then he's expecting to hit him with the second one. And this is one of Shakur Stevenson's biggest problems, is that he doesn't really hide his punches very well. He's not very sneaky until late in the fight when his opponent is too tired to interact with him. And then he can just hit him for free. But all the other times he has to kind of explode. Now, exploding onto his line, or snapping onto his line, as I like to say, and we're going to try to use that term, snapping onto his line like that with the first contact move, right? His first layer, right, is here. Boom. He's getting planted here, getting his weight into the ground, and he's going to be throwing this rear hand after. But he didn't hit his opponent here, and he gave his opponent time to see what was going on, and also let him know that something, fast and snappy was coming at him. And What does Yoshino have to do to get away from that left hand from Shakur? Well, even if he sucks at defending, he can just duck below the waist, right? So he kind of rolls it a little bit, right? Gets a little bit under, doesn't get hit clean. And this is the biggest problem that Shakur Stevenson faces, is that in spite of the fact that he's fast, that punch took twice as long from his opponent's perspective to get to him, because he had to jump onto the line at first. Now, again, jumping onto the line here to throw this shot. It takes a lot of energy to do this kind of stuff. And if you're not getting any value out of it, you're not scoring, and you don't have any way to move your head, you don't have an active guard, then your opportunity to score and land punches is very, very, very low. There's not that many times in the fight where you're going to be able to. Now, again, this is Shakur Stevenson's primary source of offense. Okay, he's pretty good at it. Usually it's not bad. Now, here's a little bit of timing here. Moving to the front foot, timing him there, going to the front foot, back foot, boom, boom, controlling him here. And then again, using that very, very same timing as he makes it to the front foot, he knows he's going to make it to the back foot. And again, when he doesn't telegraph his things, he can be a little bit faster. He can, be a little bit sneakier. But on average, Shakur Stevenson is waiting for you to do the active guard stuff, right? He's going to wait for you to move your head and put yourself in position to get hit by his punch, right? And that means, and I have a saying on, and for all of you guys that are looking for private coaching or personal coaching, there's a Fouts Boxing Academy Discord server with over 100 drills, over 30 members. It's just opening up. I just started it a few weeks ago. But all my post-fight film studies are going to be going there. They're still going to be going to Patreon as well. It's a little bit more expensive, but there's a lot more content. There's a lot more members. There's a lot more opportunity to chat with the members, and again, get a real look at what it is that I teach at Fouts Boxing Academy. We're also going to be taking a look at, this is a very, very, very high profile fight, but we're going to be taking a look at a lot of the lower level profile fights, and taking a look at boxing betting odds and starting to really delve into using my fight theories to kind of make some money. And we're going to be starting that this week, just so that there's not really any gaps in days and continuity. But also, it's a place for people to send in their training footage and get critiqued. You can see your progression. You can see the progression of other people in the community, and you can listen to the feedback that I give them about improving and becoming better fighters until you're ready to send in your own footage and um, become a better fighter yourself. Now, I have a Fouts Boxing combat system, a very, very, very particular way that I teach everything. And I have over 100 drills already posted up there of the workings of the system, and uh, guaranteed to produce a very, very, very high level fighter if you do the drills and you learn how to do them at efficient paces, okay? Which is why I'm there. So it's my very, very, very own Fouts Boxing Academy. You go there, you look at the drills, you can watch all the drills. They're about 30 seconds. Some of them are like 10 seconds. You watch them, you perform the drills, you send the drills in. I watch, I tell you how to do them better. Yeah. Um, and again, also all the film study stuff is going to be posted there. It's a whole community. You can find people who are going to be training in there and stuff. And there's also going to be a lot of other cool stuff as well. As I start traveling, I'll be able to meet up with you guys. But if you guys are looking to meet up and train with people who are also Fouts boxing combat enthusiasts, this is going to be the place to meet them. Okay, it's going to be the number one boxing community on the planet, and it's going to be not just film study, but it's also going to be producing fighters. Okay, it's really, really cool stuff. We got a lot of really cool stuff going on over there. Anyway, wait. Let's watch this guy get punched in the face now. So again, good timing here. Boom. And then again, jumping on the line with the 1-2. Now, his post-punch defense here, controlling with that rear hand or that lead hand here, but is he throwing a punch? Is he striking? No. He's kind of holding his opponent's head down, and this is illegal. this is one of those things that Shakur Stevenson kind of has to do, because when he jumps onto his opponent's line here with the 1-2 here, bop, bop, it takes so much energy that he doesn't want to be throwing another punch, but also he doesn't want to have to use another snap. He doesn't want to have to use another athletic movement to defend himself if his opponent springs up with a punch. He wants to rest now. And it's not, there's again, like I like to say, attacking your opponent has a cost of business. You're not just allowed to be on your opponent's line, okay? And you're not allowed to shortcut that cost of business by cheating, okay? Holding your opponent's head down, fouling, shoving them, ducking below the waist. All these things are illegal, and they stop people from not only having a fair fight, but also it just improving their overall boxing skills, because they never have to get better. They spend the whole time cheating and shit. So now, this is very, very, very likely one of the most important sequences of the fight here. 1, 2. Now we see that Shakur Stevenson didn't really do anything spectacular for his defense here, and if he was fighting a better athlete, if he was fighting, because when we get at the line, okay, where's Shakur's leash, right? Did he give it up, right? Is it gone? Now, again, usually his ring generalship and his leashing is pretty good, but once his opponents start getting a little bit of control over him, is that a very, very difficult punch for somebody to land if they threw a rounded punch around the guard? No, it's not. But more importantly, just throwing that shot, there's not that much reaction from Shakur except for to pull straight back. He's not blocking or interacting with the punches very well, the slow, lumbering punch, and he's still getting smacked by the left hook thing coming from Yoshino here. And this is very, very, very important for a lot of reasons. Not only does Artem have a decent one himself, which obviously he's going to use, I think, to great effect. And when we get to his clips, you'll see. But take a look at Shakur Stevenson's defense after ducking below the waist and holding. Okay. Now, again, both of those wind up being illegal. I do want to say that Yoshino is going to start reciprocating some of the stuff as well, but we'll get to that stuff when we get to it. Now, again, very, very, very interesting stuff when we see some of that stuff about the bow and arrow from Devin Haney. Okay. Now, he's getting on the line, lead hand control. He's going to be taking that step in. And when he takes that step in, take a look at his lead hand. He's kind of ripping it back so he can kind of explode into this rear hand here, right? He has nearly no guard here, and he's getting smacked very, very cleanly. His opponent is very easily slipping off the line. Simply with just having better strategy, a little bit of head movement, you can overcome somebody like Shakur Stevenson, who on average is like a single snap punch fighter, right? Again, when we take a look at his setup here, jumping on the line 1, 2, right? But he has to take that first step, bop, bop, telegraphing it. And again, I think this is going to be a huge problem for him. All of these left-hand attacks from Artem are going to be very, very, very good. Even though I think that Artem's right hand, man, just wait till we get to Artem, man. I thought that guy was a scrub, and it turns out that that guy might be a real player. Now, he still falls, when we get to him a little bit in that common fighter zone. He's not like the greatest athlete or anything. Landed a 1-2 right there, very important because Artem throws that shot a lot. 1-2. 3 with the little cross right there. Again, Shakur Stevenson's defense for that shot, anything from the left hand right there, is not very good. He's always leaning back. And Artem has some very, very interesting style of closing the distance. Now, getting on the line here with the first contact move, boom, just throwing the shot again, straight through the guard. Shakur Stevenson's defense, it's not that good. Okay. Not only does he get in that position, but look at this huge gap here in Shakur Stevenson's defense. When he gets to this position, if a 3 comes, right, how difficult is it for that shot to land? With such a huge gap in his, he's got to protect his body, but is he actually protecting his body here? His elbows are on the front of his body here. They're completely on the front. There's almost no guard here at all from Shakur Stevenson. He has so many openings, legal openings. And again, his inside fighting, Again, usually he fights guys that are like not real players, you know? Now, again, take a look at this, gets on the line, bop, 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 bop. Shakur does land the last shot, but his opponent landed 3 punches, and that's a very, very interesting place because Stevenson winds up finding a lot of time to kind of wait on the inside. Again, I wonder like the psychology of it, if it's because usually he's the bigger, stronger guy in his gym, fighting smaller guys, being the weight bully, okay, getting a good leash going on here, holding his opponent's head down, again, so he can start circling, so he can get control of him when he gets there, preventing him from coming up with the punch. So another thing real quick. So his opponent jumps on the line with a jab here, pushes Shakur off the line, okay, controls him, jumps on the line with a jab to the body here, controls him, almost throws a punch. Now his opponent's going to get on the line and throw a first contact shot again. Shakur jumps off the line, gets the lead hand control, and then comes back with the body shot into a 2-3. It's pretty clean, right? But again, one thing we want to take a look at, we know that Shakur Stevenson, not that hard of a puncher. And a guy that's not that hard of a puncher sitting on the line with the guy here with his hands down, throwing multiple punches and multiple snaps is very dangerous, right? This is the whole reason that Shakur Stevenson, um, he got his marathon badge when he fought De Los Santos because he didn't want to sit on the line with him. Now, lead hook from Stevenson off the lead hand control. Very, very, very effective shot here. This is one of those things that can slow Artem down, but Shakur Stevenson doesn't actually do that move all that consistently. One of the reasons, stepping, is he stepping on his foot here on purpose, on accident? Who knows? But he also has to get off the line. Now, another very, very sneaky move right here. His opponent, again, is crossing the line to the left, doing all the head movement work for Shakur. Okay. Again, this is just bad circling from Yoshino, not stepping around his opponent very well. But getting his head movement going here, getting picked off right there. And again, how difficult is it to really hit Shakur Stevenson? Especially if is he susceptible to a 2-3, multiple punches here. Look at what his very, very next defensive move is, right? This is not a good place to be. Okay, this is winds up in a position where he's rolling on the front foot and he's susceptible to being hit by a lot of different punches. Now again, that's not a punch, that's not illegal, or that's not legal. And then again, getting on the line here, it's only round 2, and Shakur Stevenson is against the ropes here, no guard. Again, look at his right shoulder. Look at that. Very, very, very dangerous position to be in. And his opponent is just unloading on him. Okay. And these are all very, very, very important ideas because Shakur Stevenson, again, is fighting mostly common type fighters. These guys are not like the pinnacle of strength and fitness and all this stuff. They're not like, and here's the thing is Artem actually was, I think he had a lot of amateur fights. He's coming down in weight to fight in this weight. Very, very nice stepping jab right here. I just want to point that out. Decent timing. Boom. Back, front, boom. Touching the little lead hand right there. Touch, and then going right over the top. And now this kind of stuff from Shakur, again, just take a look at this too, right? Touch, stepping jab. Very, very, very dangerous to always have a stepping jab. And again, Shakur Stevenson, on average, most of them. Getting hit to the body here. Lead hand control. 1-1. Again, is this legal here? Shoving his opponent. Now, again, all this is very, very, very important because if Shakur is not allowed to do this, right? Because if he's not allowed to do it, then he has to find a legal way to defend himself. And I contend that Shakur Stevenson's defense is really bad. And when we get to Frank Martin and we see how solid his defense was, you're going to see that this is going to be like a really, really interesting and close fight. from the perspective of Artem, you know. Again, jumping on his line, ducking below the waist. And when we take a look at Shakur's guard here, is this good defense, guys? Again, does he have any defense over here? Right? What about his body on that side? We know what position he's in. Now, he does wind up dropping Yoshino here in this sequence. Boom, catching him really, really with a decent shot. While he's penduluming, boom, bringing his back foot, and he's like, oh. But again, right after that, what's Shakur doing? Again, his ability to set up his punches because he doesn't have any head movement. His ability to, right? Again, Yoshino crossed the line right there, and now Stevenson's like, that's my time to go. Right? Jumps on the line with a 1-1-2. Lands pretty clean against the guy who's already hurt. Now again, Yoshino crossing the line, walking into that shot. But when we take a look at that shot, and this is very, very, very important, Shakur is going to be throwing that shot. Look at that bow and arrow. Where's that guard from Shakur? Okay. He does not have his hand up. Okay. And Artem loves to counter with that left hand. Little control there. Popping him through the guard. Now, again, Shakur Stevenson gets a lot of credit for his defense. His offense is very, very, very explosive, but his overall power punching is very low. Now, jumps on the line. 1, 2. Gets him to the body. He's going to try to jump back on the line again. 1. Gets met by Yoshino. Intercepted the first shot. And now Yoshino is following up off that jab instead. And again, Shakur Stevenson's main source of offense like that, very, very, very predictable. Now, just take a look at this guy here. You go, watch Yoshino. Look at how sloppy he is. Look at how like weak he looks. Kind of punching him in the dick right there. Kind of unfortunate. Look at how he's able to just kind of open up with a couple of punches here. Those are scoring punches. Good shot right here. Miss. I think he misses that counter. Gets him with a little shot right there. And again, what does Shakur do to escape a long sequence like this? He starts fouling, holding, and shoving, right? Now, the reason that this is really important, it's not just to be like, oh, he's a cheater, this, and that. Artem is bigger than he is. You know, real quick, super, super fast, tap, pop, very, very fast shot. Nice bow and arrow, bro. Good defense from Shakur, guys. Do we think? Do we think? So Shakur circling, moving around. Missed. And again, walking right into a left hook from his opponent. Okay. Where's Shakur's guard? Right? Look at that bow and arrow right there. Boom. Getting smacked again. Now, again, he's lucky he's fighting a very common type fighter. A guy that's not really a puncher. He's not really strong. Okay. There's a lot of places there that Shakur Stevenson has a lot of advantages. Pushing him off the line. Free rear hand right there. His hands are very low. Gets into his high guard. Get a little bit controlled. 2, 3, 2. Now again, when we see a combination like this, because Shakur can't really move his head, he's trying his best to land these combinations. Boom. Kind of gets him. Yeah. Kind of rolling. Miss. But the cost of business for Shakur to land kind of blocked-ish grazing shots, he still has to put full effort. And again, because he has to just explode. I think that that's going to play a significant role in the fight with Artem. Now, Artem loves the lead rear hand, and again, I don't think that Shakur Stevenson's defense is all that good. He loves the lead rear hand into the 3 as well. Shakur seeing everything coming, he's fast, he's talented. Getting himself put against the ropes for no reason, right? His opponent just opening up. Now again, coming to the line with a little uppercut. Look at where his right guard is. There's no guard here. Now, I don't know if Artem is a good enough puncher to hurt Stevenson. We've never seen Stevenson hurt, I don't think. I'm not sure. Again, no real guard. And again, he's lucky he's fighting someone like Yoshino, who's very soft, very weak. Free punches on the inside. Little 3-3 there. Couple of exploding right shots right there. Again, not very well hidden either. Holding his opponent's head down, throwing a punch. Okay. Now he's being told not to throw punches low while his head's being held down. Now again, coming forward. Is this good defense from Shakur? Should he be in this position here? Definitely not. Right? There are a lot of holes here. Shakur doesn't have a good guard for that position. And then again, holding his opponent's head down. Again, Stevenson went on like a little tear right there, throwing like 5-6 punches pretty fast and snappy, but look at how he needs to rest. He landed some of those shots, and the guy's still right in front of him, and he's choosing to foul. Now, again, all this is really, really, really important because this stuff doesn't work against people when they're bigger than you. Super fast and snappy, explosive. And then again, missing the third shot, right? And I don't want to say for no reason, but like it's so much energy to be missing shots like this, and why is he missing a shot like this right after he landed 2 hard shots? Well, because he doesn't actually hit that hard, even against a small, frail guy who's got very, very bad posture, a weak guy. Boom, boom, boom. Again, missing. And again, what's the cost of business here? Good shot. Oh, he's punching. Kind of got him there. Missed completely. Control. And immediately getting caught by a left hand here on the inside. And Stevenson's dominating this round and getting hit with just really simple stuff, again, because his initial guard on average is really low. And then again, not punching right there, but choosing to kind of push. And if Artem is actually bigger, I'm not sure he will be because Shakur is very, very strong and fit. Lead rear hand right through the guard for no reason. Little control. Where's Shakur Stevenson's leash? Is this because he knows that this guy's not on the level? This guy can't really strike with them. He wants him close. But when we take a look at Shakur Stevenson getting nailed here, again, he just got hit with one of these like 7 seconds ago. He's still, again, not really able to stop his opponent from throwing even combinations like this. And he got hit with the first shot. His opponent's now on the line. He's bodied up, and this guy's the one ripping punches. And this is a guy that, supposedly Shakur dominated, right? Good counter from Shakur. Really, really good shot right there. And then again, some good shots. And now those shots, boom, excellent shot. They take so much energy from Shakur that right after landing all those great shots, he's immediately taking long breaks and doing nothing. Again, shoving, and instead of punching with his hand, right, just controlling his opponent, trying to shove him and control him, pivoting off, you know. And again, it's not legal. There's a line, right? Again, very, very, very bad defense here. If a guy who was good at that punch here, boom, this one here, could line that up. Now, able to mitigate some of that damage right there by holding there. Excellent uppercut there from Shakur. But again, when we see his overall defense, we see all the holes, how risky it all is. Excellent shot again. He's just so easy to hit, and again, he's just lucky he hasn't fought anybody except De Los Santos, who he would not even hit and get free points. Again, how difficult is it to just unload on Shakur? Not landing the headshots, but always landing the body shots. And then again, getting shoved. Again, Shakur Stevenson has, I believe, a problem throwing lots of fast and snappy punches in a fight. Again, take a look at him throw that one into that two right there. Bop, bop, missing the two because he sacrificed all that surprise by throwing the one. And then again, shoving and holding his opponent. When he didn't shove and hold and duck below the waist and he wasn't doing anything illegal, right in that clip right there, boom, boom, getting hit with the left cross. Now again, Artem is extremely good at this move, and when we get to the clips from him, you'll see. But again, so many of these clips, there's so much space here. You'll say, I guess, for improvement for Shakur. But again, even right there, that's not a punch. He's just shoving him. Just shoving him. And again, that's not real defense. That's not real boxing. But most importantly, it doesn't work against someone who's bigger than you. Almost eating a good shot right there. And again, where's the ring generalship, right? Getting his leash going a little bit right there, and then all of a sudden back against the ropes, eating a body shot. Kinda, who knows? That doesn't matter. The potential to be eating shots right there, very high. Now again, gets on the line too. And now we're gonna play a little bit of Where's Waldo, and I want you guys to take a look at the very obvious placement of Shakur Stevenson's left hand on Yoshino's face. Can anybody find Shakur Stevenson's right hand? Very good. Oh, you guys are excellent. Right here. Oh, you guys get a cookie. If you guys imagined what his posture looked like, I know you can't see it through the referee, but is his right arm in Narnia? um, Coming around, right? And again, that's a lead right hook. And it's all the way back here, guys. Okay? Good shot, though. Good shot. Good defense, guys. Good defense. Again, not to be mean to Yoshino, but, we call them common type fighters, right? Back in the day, I think they used to call them tomato cans. No, I'm just kidding. The common type fighters, more like the journeyman. Like sometimes the journeyman becomes the champion, right? Sometimes the journeyman fights somebody who can't move their head, right? And then they catch him with a lucky Glenn Johnson special, right? A little Arturo Thunder and Lightning, whatever. 1, 2, 3. Good shot. Boom. Dropped them here. Pretty fast, pretty snappy. Okay, look at that guard here. Psh, look at his hands. Psh. Okay, no defense whatsoever. And again, for an all offense fighter, not very much punching power. I know he just dropped him, but why didn't he stop him? Now, this is one of those things that a very, very high level experienced fighter is going to do, controlling with both hands, rear hand probe, lead hand probe. And it's in Shakur's case, he knows that if he winds up getting out of a position, he's just going to do something like this and grab the guy's arm and foul and turn his back and then try to cheat instead of fight out of it, right? Again, just getting the referee involved rather than using his own skill. Whoops, that was the clip. Now, take a look at Yoshino slip to the front foot here, walk into that hook. Pretty nice shot here. No head movement, though. Immediately gets walked into a rear hand from Yoshino. And again, he's going to get credit for a stoppage in this fight, but we can clearly see that they're going tit for tat here, and they shouldn't be. Shakur Stevenson's the way more obviously talented fighter. Now again, very poor defense from Shakur. Grabbing, wrapping his arm around the waist, punched him in the leg here, punched him in the face. Illegal, 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 illegal. Jumping on the line. Boom. Again, very, very, very interesting scrambles there from Shakur. So again, 1-2 misses because he has to telegraph it by setting up with the 1 there, the very explosive 1. The guy jumps on the line. 2, 3. I know he doesn't get him, but the point is the hole and the gap is there, even though this guy is a common type fighter. Good hook from Shakur. Eats another hook himself, though. And again, he's just going to be open for this punch all night long. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Bwap. Good defense, guys. Good defense. Now, very explosive. Again, very explosive. And it's not easy to throw punches like this. And again, that's the problem that Shakur has. It's not easy to throw those shots. And then here, we wind up here. Boom, boom. Excellent shot. And controlling, right? Not legal. Shoving his head. Bop, bop. Lands an excellent shot. Is he following up? No. No, he's not, guys. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Oops. Come on. A lot of 2-3s. His signature move. Very, very, very safe move to throw here, right, guys? We all agree exactly how you want to draw them up. Decent move, right? Gets on the line with the 1-2. Boom, boom. The guy sees it coming a mile away, rolls to the front foot, walks into a hook a little bit, right? Shakur Stevenson not able to continue following up because his technique's not that good. Gets on the line, jab, look at the defense. Beautiful defense from Shakur. All right. Wow, how did he crack that egg? Boom. Cracked it again. And here we are. Boom, landing a good shot. And the ref stops the fight for whatever reason that is. Now, we also have like a million clips left of this to go over. So, take a look at the little rhythm from Artem. Okay, very, very rhythmed fighter. You might notice that rhythm from Usyk. Okay, what? Jumping up. A little bit of lead hand control, right? A little bit more dominant than Yoshino had. Now, the first thing I want you to notice is that Artem looks huge next to Frank Martin. Now, rear hand probe from Artem. And not that difficult here to get out of the corner if he's really brave. Comes in, gets a little bit of control, pushes him off the line kind of easy. That's going to be a very, very, very important theme. Okay. Head movement, crossing the line. Okay, just want to point that out. Just a little bit of, oh, okay. Now, a little bit of lead hand control from Frank Martin, following it back with that little stepping jab, that left cross over the top. A very, very, very important wrinkle because, again, Shakur Stevenson will play with his leashes. A little bit of rear hand probing from Artem. Okay, just some important stuff. Again, he's not limited like most fighters who are only going to be using the lead hand. Now, again, we also saw that Yoshino had a lot of success finding holes for his rear hand, and that dude's a scrub. All right? Again, First round still, a lot of rear hand probes so far from Artem. Now this jab to the body here, I thought it was very, very particularly interesting because that's where the liver is. Okay, and that's a very, very good shot for Artem to be landing. And again, this may be not the easiest shot for him to land because Shakur actually always has his arm down here. So that may not be the shot that he lands. Maybe he'll land it a little more toward the solar plexus, or maybe he'll just go to his face because Frank Martin has a much higher and better guard on average than Shakur does. So it's going to be harder to hit him in the face. So that may be why he's going to the body there. Again, Frank Martin has a much better guard, much more difficult to crack than Shakur Stevenson. Now, Frank Martin is not as athletic and snappy, right? As I'll say, as snappy. He's more athletic than Shakur Stevenson, but he's not as snappy and fast with that exploding shot. But I do think on average he's a better puncher. Whoops, Illuminati, 1-1-2, pushing him off the line. Again, very, very common timing. Little hook around the guard. Now, again, Shakur Stevenson does not keep that lead hand up. So if an attack comes and he tries to pull this way, Artem may be able to get him with this shot. And the thing is, Artem is a little bit bigger, I think, than Shakur. And that's going to be a big problem for him if he's trying to use his athleticism. Again, this fight looks a lot, I think, different because of the type of guard that Frank Martin has. Then Shakur will be able to make it. Now, jumping on the line, 1, parried, 2, rolled, kind of comes up with his head right there. That's unfortunate. But he does not get hit with either of those punches. And they were like decently hidden from while Martin was circling. Now, jumps on the line with the 1-2 here. Bop, boom. Doesn't get him, right? Gets countered here. I don't think that Shakur is going to be on that level to be countering that shot, but I do want to point out, boom, he does almost get his block up. Almost. Okay, a very, very, very important wrinkle there. Now again, jumping on the line with the 1-2, he's pretty fast and snappy with that. And again, Shakur Stevenson's on average lack of defense at this level, right? He's a little bit slow sometimes. I think those rounded punches when Shakur is kind of trying to pull straight back, those big swinging ones are going to be very valuable. 1-1, right? And we can see him getting into his little rhythm here, crossing the line, ripping some shots. Now, this is one of the positions that I think Artem is the weakest, is on the front foot here. He'll do this thing here where he'll also try to pivot on the front foot and circle, and we're going to see him get a little bit obliterated by Frank Martin because of it. Now, this little shot here, getting on the line, timing Artem here, this is the space where Shakur Stevenson really needs to shine. He's going to have to use his leash. He's going to have to control space really well. He's going to have to do it from both sides, like we saw in that little clip where he was goofing off and then the guy threw punches at him and he just grabbed his arm and turned his back. But he's going to have to do stuff like that and rely on other things than just his lead hand control and his bad guard if he wants to find enough space to find little gaps in Artem's line when he's moving forward, like this, little shots that he can sneak in that allow him to get off the line and not really have to engage, that make it so that he doesn't have to have an inside fight, because we're going to see, again, body shot. I don't know if that'll be as available, but excellent follow-ups. Very, very, very important, getting on the line. 1-1-2. Okay? The fact that Artem is doing this stuff in the middle of the ring, and most people usually wait until they get to the edge of the ring, until they get to the ropes, is a very, very, very important idea because Shakur Stevenson is on average going to think he's very safe while he's leashing, and he's not against the ropes. Maybe not even expecting his opponent to leap and explode onto his line. And however, Artem does do that on average a little bit more. Now, when we talk about common fighter stuff, look at how pedestrian he looks throwing that hook right there. In spite of the fact that he may have the right strategy and he may be able to execute a little bit, I do think that on average, his athleticism is a huge problem. Now take a look at this front foot pivot here. That is like one of the worst things I've ever seen ever. Now, this little left cross over the top, it's one of the best things ever. Okay, he didn't get him really, but we're going to see a few places where both of those sequences kind of come back and we get to be reminded. Now again, getting into his little bit of a rhythm. It's a little bit smaller than Usyk's here. Trying to put pressure, 1-1, make him think the two's coming. Again, very, very, very active. And look at how quickly he's able to cut the ring off here and get his opponent into this position where he can time him here. Again, making that kind of stuff very easy to read when he tries to escape here. Boom, 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 following with all these shots. And again, that's actually quite a bit of scoring. A little bit of that Usyk rhythm there. Now, this is very, very interesting because he's not doing himself any favors here by stepping around to the outside of Martin here so early. He's going to take the step out here, take the step out here, boom, boom. And he's throwing this shot, but he's completely opened up all this space for Martin to go, right? Without really opening up a space or opening up an opportunity to land a punch. It's not going to take him that long, however, to get to a position where he's got his opponent back on the ropes, though. And again, this is one of those things that's going to be very effective for him against Shakur, because Shakur will often put himself in that position too. We're just going to have to see if it works out better for Shakur or better for Artem. Right now, when we take a look at a little bit of this movement here, up, down, cross the line, decent. Gets back off the line, decent, right? Right back on, again, circling around, stepping around, letting him out of that zone. Now, landing a shot here. Boom. No, I guess he's still not landing it yet. But I do expect that to be one of the most effective punches in the fight. Now, getting to the line, his opponent stepping jabs with him. Boom, getting timed here. Excellent cross over the top of that jab. Now, again, look at how that hand's not really up, right? Before it starts snapping to the line. And his opponent's able to snap right over the top of it. That is something I do expect to happen. I don't want to say a lot at all, but I do expect it to happen quite a few times against Shakur. But I do think Shakur is a little bit snappier than Frank. Beautiful, beautiful shot right there. Getting on the line with that little stepping hook, pop, and right around the guard. And again, this I think is Shakur Stevenson's weakness. He does not block punches with the right guard very well. He doesn't keep the right guard up. And again, all these rear hand probes from Artem also allow him to have many, many, many more safer spaces to open up against Shakur. Now, again, I do think that Artem is kind of a common type fighter kind of guy. Little leaping cross again. Very, very dangerous against Shakur. He often will be pendulum stepping off the line with no hands up. A common type fighter. He's in decent shape. 1-1-2, has great strategy. And again, that is the shot right there. Gets on the line with the boom, boom. Okay. And again, what's the defense going to be from Shakur? Is he going to duck below the waist? Is he going to cheat? Is he going to spoil the fight? Right. Now, getting on the line, here's that stepping jab from his opponent. Bah, super fast. Got him. Good timing. And Artem just follows it back with a better power shot. Okay. Again, Shakur's going to really have to find places to hide and sneak these kinds of punches in. Because again, if Artem is a little bit bigger than him, a little bit, more physical, a little bit more strong, he's going to have to rely on his clean timing rather than getting in brawls and ever letting Artem on his line, because Artem he is pretty fast and snappy. He actually does have a decent IQ as well. Leaping shot, beautiful from Frank Martin. Again, he's not the fastest. Mr. Artem's not the fastest. He's not the snappiest guy. He's not the, you know. But strategically, I think that he has a very, very, very strong opportunity here to upset Shakur because Shakur, on average, has, I think, a very, very, very poorly organized fight plan. Beautiful shot, jumps on his line. No counters from Artem there. Gets it back, though, right? What kind of defense got that guy out of the corner from Artem? Mostly illegal, right? Coming around the guard, and then again, that's the shot that I think is going to be super, super dangerous for Shakur. He uses it so often, getting on the line with good control, good attacks. And again, Shakur jumps off the line, sticking his lead hand out to escape those body shots. And I think he's going to do that kind of stuff. Maybe get walked into those leaping shots. Now again, ducking below the waist right there, not a very good strategy. But this may be the kind of stuff that we are in store for in this fight. Because again, I think that Shakur Stevenson, once he sees how physical Artem can be, how very often Artem just boom one jumps on his line two, not afraid to just explode onto his line and let some shots go. And again, excellent hook here again. Um, Shakur is going to have to rely on either running or ducking below the waist and holding. Now, throwing that punch, getting good control, this and that. If it's okay for Shakur Stevenson to do it, this guy's going to do it too. And this is going to be a very interesting thing about the fight because Artem is a little bit stronger, I think. He's a little bigger. I don't know if he's going to be stronger than Shakur. Open for an easy shot, and he takes his own easy shot. 1, 1, 2, 3. Again, this fight again may be full of sequences like that, lots of going back and forth, a lot of striking, a lot of, it'll all depend on how much of how many punches, a little bit of head movement, again, head movement, ooh, pull, boom. So again, just wanted to show that he's practiced that too. Um, Not really any counters there, so Shakur may still have a really good time timing him there if he does use his active guard. But usually just jumping on the line with the 1-1-2, which again I think may be very effective against Shakur. Following up with the 3, then again this guy is for a kind of like seemingly common type fighter, you know, pretty decent. Beautiful, beautiful shot here. Jumps on the line with the 1. Wow. Here's the first shot. Now, I don't know if he can do that to Shakur Stevenson, but that was beautiful timing. And again, Shakur is so fast with his quick, stepping on the line 1-2, boom, boom. That timing may be very difficult, and it may wind up in more problems for Artem than rewards. Now, that shot right there, I think, is very likely one of the most important things that can happen in the fight. He's landing an excellent, excellent leaping left hook against an opponent who is on the ropes, trying to escape, trying to find a way to get away, trying not to, right? Boom, 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 boom. And again, I think even though he was trying to block that shot, he still got hit. I think that means that, again, it's going to be all the more effective against Shakur. But all that to say, I thought this was really clever too. He gets on the line with this 2 here. Boom. He's going to give it a pull and then come up with a 2. And then he's going to try to counter after the 2. He's like, oh, he's going to leave after that, like last time. And they both wind up following up in that space. I thought it was pretty interesting. But there's an interesting idea that, again, Artem is not the faster and like more talented guy. He's not the guy that's more explosive, even though I think he's the more durable guy. But if he has to use so much more energy to throw his punches to keep up with Shakur. Again, just jumping on the line, finding a free 1-2 right there. Again, I think that'll be very effective against Shakur as well. Has the potential to be. Escaping the corner right there with a very easy control shot there. Again, a little shot right over the top. Ooh, missed. A little bit of holding his head as well. Again, a little bit of physicality from Artem. Another little liver body shot. Again, a very common source of offense from Artem. And again, right out in the open, not even waiting to get his opponent pinned against the ropes, not giving him an opportunity to see it coming. Rear hand opener. Eats one counter from his opponent. Spinning around. Again, this fight has a very, very high potential to be very similar to some of those like kind of athletic feats. Um, Jumping on the line, again, landing another good 1-2. Now, a lot of control here, a lot of feinting from Martin, right? Getting good control and still not able to discourage him. And again, landing that left cross over the top right there. And again, landing and holding on top of him. It still may be a very, very, very ugly and physical fight for Shakur to compete in. Decent shot over the top here of his guard, bop. And then great follow up from Artem. Again, Shakur Stevenson doesn't always have good head movement. In fact, never has good head movement. Post punch defense, not always that good. He looks to hold. Again, if he can't hold, what is his post punch defense strategy going to be? Especially against the guy who may be bigger than him, maybe snapping like this against him. Now, look at how quickly he's cutting the ring off against this guy. Again, this is going to be Shakur's nightmare if he doesn't immediately get dwarfed by the speed of Shakur. Now again, if Shakur does that thing where he stops controlling space, he stops leashing, he stops, he winds up standing in front of his opponents and he may interact with the rear hand on average okay, but this left hand, that follow-up shot from Artem, I think is just going to be very, very difficult for Shakur to overcome with such bad defense on average. Again, got hit, post punch defense, very, very, very good snap from Artem there. Again, I'm not sure who I think is going to win. I'm still not sure because I do think that Shakur is the better athlete. But strategically, this is the kind of fight that they probably would just steal from Artem. Even if he did, like, it was a close fight, even if he did win 8 rounds, they probably just steal it. Maybe give him a draw, at worst or at best, you know. Again, he can be very physical and hold and foul and, do that kind of same stuff. So it may not work out to Shakur's favor if he doesn't wind up being the bigger and stronger guy to get this guy to be um, very physical with him. Damn it. All right, we're closing in on the last few clips. Kinda, we got like 20. Again, jumping on the line with the 1-2. Very, very, very common source of offense there. Little feinting, changing levels there. Boom, into a leaping hook, into that shot. Again, super, super explosive. But look at how easy it is to kind of push him off the line here. Again, I think that might be a big thing for Shakur if he's actually interacting, actually getting some control of Artem. He may be able to throw a single shot like that, not have to get backed up, throw a single shot like that, not wind up against the ropes, right? But we did see Artem, boom, boom, jumping on the line, just start going kind of crazy, just start throwing shots, right? Again, a little bit of that wrestling stuff didn't really go the way that he thought it would that time, but jumping on the line with that jab. Is there any defense? Is he going to pendulum step off the line? Boom. The 3 being the more dangerous punch there. Boom. Right over the top. And then even following it up. Again, some beautiful boxing. And again, that hole in particular gets on the line. Jab, pendulum. Seeing it coming. Again, Frank Martin, not as snappy as Shakur, but still very fast himself. Excellent rear hand probe. Gets on the line here. Crazy. Very good sequence there from Martin. And again, Shakur is not like he's not capable of doing that. Beautiful shot. Now he's going to be down here, crossing the line. His opponent attacks him while he's crossing the line, very similar to like Shakur. Slips the line and throws that shot here. Now, again, I don't know how experienced he's going to be in being able to do this. Shakur is very fast, but if he's able to land shots like this while Shakur is trying to counter him, or while Shakur is trying to time him here, this could be the like fight-ending kind of shots for sure. Again, following up immediately, not letting him throw any free punches at him. And then a little bit of wrestling. How fun, right? Following it up again, and then again with that left cross, which I think is going to be very likely the most important shot. Holding his head, little fouled himself. And again, if Shakur winds up getting to do it, it's right that Artem does as well. Little free punch from Artem. Now, I would rather both fighters don't get to do it. Pivots on that front foot. Very poor defense there. And look at how out of position he winds up. Almost catches him again with that head movement. Bop, bop, bop. Right? Now, again, I do think that Shakur Stevenson is capable of some of this stuff, but I think Frank Martin is a little bit better of an athlete, even though he's not exactly as snappy. He doesn't know as much about like punch technique and how to throw punches. If you guys want to learn all the secrets of punching power and all the technique of whatever, check out the Fouts Boxing Academy. Again, as people send in videos, as you send in videos, as you train, as you work and progress, you will learn them too. I will teach them to you. Again, check it out, Fouts Boxing Academy. It's going to be the evolution of boxing coaching forever. Circling, and then a little bit of a trap right here for Artem. Not very common, but when Artem's not being the aggressor, he's got some okay circling patterns, right? Change level here, boom, boom. Again, I think he actually hurt him with this body shot here. Bop. He's landed so many here. Decent shot. Now again, pivoting on the front foot here from Artem. This is one of his weakest circling movements. Okay, as he starts circling, he'll wind up pivoting on the front foot really deep and hard. And Frank Martin actually picked up on it and was able to make quite a bit of defense or quite a bit of offense about it, trying to pivot around this way. Okay, and then Frank Martin cutting the ring off, trying to follow him around, gets him back on the line, counters with that little left cross, follows him back with the rear hand as well. And again, this move here, boom, boom. I think it's going to be so effective against Shakur. Very fast. Shoots that shot here, pulls, gets underish almost, and then away from the 2-3 there. beautiful little boxing sequence there. Again, getting on his line, little combination, bop, 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 rolls off the line. And then again, that's the most important punch of this sequence here. I do think that there's going to be a lot of time where he gets basically to be free next to Shakur, because Shakur does that, falls off to the back half of his line, keeps his hands low, but will allow the guy to open up and throw shots like that. And then again, when Shakur tries to get his get back, tries to get those punches back, Artem may be able to catch him with those crosses over the top. Again, he's so sneaky with that shot. He's pretty snappy with it. Um, Little failing on the front foot there. Again, a lot of those left crosses there. Worst circling ever. Now, he's going to land this shot, but he's kind of taking a step while he does it. He doesn't really get a lot of good power. And again, look at these guys just rear hand probe at each other. Again, this fight with Shakur could still be very similar to that. And then again, getting him with that left cross there, very deep in these sequences. And again, look at all the pressure that Artem's putting on him. Again, that's all going to be very difficult for someone like Shakur, who has to rely on holding, ducking below the waist, shoving, and using his lead hand to hold your opponent's head down. Now take a look at him trying to circle out this way and pivot on the front foot. Martin blasting him here. Again, his circling patterns here are very, 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 very green. But good trap right here. Excellent shot right there. And then again, they both, Shakur and this guy, both have a decent amount of that hands low, bow and arrowing kind of crap. Excellent shot. Excellent shot over the top. And then again, post punch defense. He is pretty good with that left cross, but you know, he usually doesn't get off the line after. His footwork usually gets a little bit wonky. Trying to attack him on those pivots. Now again, this is crazy. This is a lot of work right here. Um, Frank winds up breaking his orbital bone, but I don't think that Shakur can give that kind of effort. I don't think that Shakur can throw that many punches in a row. I don't think he's that fast and snappy. I don't think that was really good. Rear hand probe here. Now he's going to go rear hand. Here's a trap. Sets a trap with the hook. Frank Martin gets him, and it doesn't work. But then he's going to go to the rear hand probe and roll under. Thought that was like a really, really, really sick sequence here, all off those rear hand probes and informations and stuff. Jumps on the line, and again, being followed around, circle, gets planted, bop, bop, bop. A couple of traps, a couple of little things that he can do there. Circling on the front foot again, you can see when he circles to the left, he is just atrocious. It's some of the worst circling I've ever seen anywhere ever. So if Shakur is going to win this fight, he's going to have to find a way to be making Artem be the defensive fighter and get him to circle to the left. Now again, he's getting beat up here a little bit, right? This is not looking good. He's like, the guy's following him around. Ah, don't hurt me. Ah, no. Ah, bap, bap. Just kidding, you sucker. Oh no, what's going on? Ah, ow. Whack. Excellent shot. And again, he can be really sneaky with this left hook here. Left cross, left thing here. Now, take a look at Artem going to be pivoting on the front foot. He's trying to get blocked here. Finds a little left hook right there again. And just getting smacked around here. Pivot on the front foot. He doesn't even get the opportunity, right? Pivot on the front foot. So, again, if Shakur Stevenson's going to be successful, he's going to need to be pushing Artem away and getting him into this pattern here so he can follow up and chase him and beat him up. Now, circling to that side, circling again, very, very bad. Smashing him. And then again, as soon as he starts circling the other way, whack. Okay. Now, again, I don't think that Shakur has that type of cardio in him to throw this many of his fastest and snappiest punches at an opponent. I think that Shakur tires too much. He rests too much on the inside. He rests too much while he's ducking below the waist, while he's holding, while he's shoving a guy's head. His ring generalship being his best quality, but it's supplemented by the fact that he can control his opponents with fake and illegal moves. And I think that the fact that he doesn't leash his opponents all the time and he kind of lets that go might make it a little bit difficult for him to know when he's supposed to be the aggressor here. And I think that he's going to have a very difficult time wearing Artem down before Artem finds a way to score enough points to maybe come out ahead. So if Shakur actually is fast and snappy and can threaten Artem's position well enough, um, and Artem doesn't feel like he has any holes to come in, he can't find that left cross or that left hook, Shakur could make this look like a virtuoso performance with his speed if he really took this fight seriously. Now, if Artem took this fight really seriously and he's going to come in even stronger, even faster, even more fit, even more than he was in the Tank fight or the Frank fight, then this is going to be a very difficult fight for Shakur. I think that Artem has all the tools to make this a winnable and competitive fight. I think he just has to organize his fight plan and his fight strategy correctly, and he could win. So, however, I don't think this is the kind of fight that you want to be taking the underdog in because Top Rankers has too much of an investment in Shakur. Even if he does win, again, it's going to be hard for them to give the rounds to him. Win, especially if the other guy's winning, if Artem's winning, and Shakur's whole strategy is like he's just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna run and run and run, scream every time I throw a punch so that I get credit for it on CompuBox, and then win the fight without landing a punch like he did against De Los Santos. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Later, guys.